Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to talk about an earthquake. My theme is on earthquakes. What if an earthquake occurs right at this moment? Just a moment, please. Or imagine yourself in a Sunday afternoon, it's sunny, you're in at home and you're cooking dinner and you're all relaxed. And suddenly, an earthquake occurs. Would you turn off the gas first because you're cooking? Or would you duck under the table because some things might fall over? Or would you run outside for help because your house is too not disturbed and it's dangerous? Well, when the Great East Japan earthquake occurred, I remember it very clearly. It was Friday afternoon and I was looking forward to my friend's house for sleepover. And there was a small tremor at first, but all of a sudden it started to shake very hard. And I was shocked and I was not able to move at that moment. But I think I heard someone says, "You must duck under the table." And since I wasn't at my table, I ran into my colleague's table. And I was very scared, but I remember her saying, it's okay, and she was taking my hand, and it was so comfortable for me. And after that, I was living near my office, but I wasn't able to go home that night because I was at the general affairs team back then, and I had to decide what's going to happen to our company and everything. And however, since I was planning to go for a sleepover party, I had my contact lenses, glasses, and all my makeup and stuff with me. And it was a coincidence, but I think it was very important to have something, and be prepared. And so after you think of if you're staying at home, then I want you to think about what if you're at work, when you're sleeping, and when you're staying at a park with your kids, with your pet, or while you're jogging, while you're in an idol concert in Tokyo Dome. That's very scary. While playing your guitar in a studio, or when you're traveling or going on a business trip. In every circumstance, what if an earthquake happens at that time? Can you move and make the right move? So today's purpose is to know about what kinds of earthquakes will happen in Tokyo, and that's predicted to happen in Tokyo. And think about what you need to prepare in case of a disaster. And here, after you go home, let's prepare for the disaster. So the Tokyo Metropolitan Government has been releasing the damage prediction for these two earthquakes. The one is a Nankai Trough earthquake, and another one is an earthquake directly below Tokyo, 首都直下型地震. And these are predicted that it will occur in a very high percentage within a few decades. So the first one is the Nankai Trough earthquake. The Nankai Trough is from the Shikoku area to around Izu, Shizuoka area. And if this earthquake happens, the Japanese intensity scale will be lower 6 or 5 in the scale of 7 for Tokyo. However, in the Tokyo ward, it's predicted that it will be in the scale of 5. And the tsunami prediction is 2.48 meters in Kotoku. So 2.48 meter is pretty scary because it's more than above your height. And for tsunami, even though it's few centimeters, you might get washed away. And another earthquake is the earthquake that comes directly below Tokyo. And if this happens, in the Japanese intensity scale, it'll be 7 or upper 6 in the scale of 7. And for the Tokyo ward, 70% of the area will have this Japanese intensity scale of 7 or upper 6. That's a very high rate, high percentage. And also the tsunami prediction is 2.61 meters in Shinagawa-ku. And I live in Shinagawa-ku, and so when I look at the page, I was very scared. And also, the Bureau of Urban Development, Tokyo Metropolitan Government has recently released a community earthquake risk assessment. It assesses the risk of building collapse and the risk of fire as a result of earthquakes. And the general risk combining the two risks started and added the difficulty of rescue. And each community is ranked from 1, which is low risk in blue, to a 5, a high risk in dark red. And our office is located around here. So from the 3 risk assessments, the total risk was ranked 1, which was low risk. So you could say that this area is safe, fairly safe, when a percentage of building collapse and the risk of fire and the easy readiness to the rescue. So if you're living in Tokyo, you can find your community. So please go to the URL listed in the bottom if you're interested in which rank your community is in. And by the way, my community was ranked 2. So let me go back to my first question. It's a Sunday afternoon and you're cooking your dinner and an earthquake happens. Would you turn off the gas first or duck under the table or just go around outside? When I was young, like an elementary school student, I was taught that you should turn off the gas first. And that's what we learned in schools. However, after the Great East Japan earthquake, the ducking under the table is the first priority. And to protect your life first is the first priority. And I've been on earthquake simulator cars several times, and I've experienced the quake of the Great East Japan earthquakes and Hanshin Awaji Daishinsai, which happened in 1996. But you can't move. When I rode on the car, I wasn't able to move, and I had to cling on to the simulator to just stand. And if I released my hand, then I would just fall down. So it's that kind of earthquake that will come. So the first priority is not turning off the gas, because you can't go and turn off the gas. You're in a situation like that. So you should duck under the table first. And after you are able to duck under a table or save your head with some sort, you must move after the tremor is over. And then what you do? You turn off the gas and make sure you can open all the doors to evacuate just in case. So after the tremor is over, this is the kind of evacuation procedure Tokyo Metropolitan is offering. First, check the information. You can check information like by using Twitter or any kind of SNS. And see if your home is not collapsing or is safe. And if it's safe, by looking at if there's no tsunami coming, then you can stay at home and start home evacuation, even though the lifeline is not coming back yet. However, if your house is about to collapse or it might be dangerous to stay at home, then first go to the temporary meeting space, like parks, near the parks, and you should decide which park to go and decide within your family before the earthquake occurs. And after that, if you're not able to go back to your house, then you go to the evacuation shelters like elementary schools and start the life in this evacuation shelters. So next, I would like to talk about the preparing for the disasters. The point for preparing is that you should start from what you can do, and don't take the preparation as a burden. So I would like to talk about some helpful information sources and how the room should be layouted and what should we store. So to prepare, where can we get some information? Of course, in the Great East Japan earthquake, Twitter was a very good source of information when people can't watch TV or while you're going home walking. And also, there's a prepare earthquake early warnings, which is an alarm that tells you when the earthquake is coming close by. In Japanese, it's Kinkyu Jishin Soko. And you can install that within your iPhones, and please check if you have an iPhone or your smartphones, and if that is installed already, and it works. And when a disaster happens, there's the disaster emergency message dial called 171, and I won't go into details since I'm running out of time, but in September 1st is the Disaster Prevention Day, and you could use dial 171 for experiencing. So next about your preparing for your room at your house. Think about your room. First, your bedroom. Do you have any tall furnitures? Or if yes, does it collapse to your bed? And where do you keep your glasses? I keep my glasses next to myself. I even sometimes sleep with my glasses on. And the glasses and also, do you have your slippers that's close to your bed? You should keep your slippers next to your bed, because the glass will shatter in case of a big earthquake, and you have to walk above the glasses to evacuate. And next, your living room and your kitchen. Again, are the furniture secured to the wall or ceiling? If they aren't, you could buy those securement products to secure the cabinets to the walls. So please buy that and get ready for that. And the cabinet and the TV will be a deadly weapon if it comes right at you. And first, at last, storing food and water is it's recommended that you store water and food for 3 days, but it doesn't have to be a food for the disaster. For example, I go to mega supermarkets for a bottle of water and use it daily, and when I run out, I go again and buy the waters again. Also, canned food is good when I don't have time to cook during the week, but it also can be helpful in the case of emergency. And that goes same for snacks like potato chips. During a long evacuation life, a refreshment during the daily life is refreshment during those evacuation periods is very good for you, and potato snacks can be refreshment during the daily life, but in case of emergency, it'll turn to food for survival. So that's about the end of my speech, and there are some helpful hints for that Tokyo Metropolitan is releasing on the webpage, and it's very useful, so please check these pages and get ready to prepare for the disaster. And today I didn't go into details for what kind of storage company has, or what kind of procedure company should do, because it's going to be on YouTube, so please keep that in mind. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions.